We try.
Well, not everybody here is
We can try to do that for us, because you're the one who's been backing them up from us, so I just want to make sure.
What I've been saying is, as far as regarding backing them up, is this, I have no reason to believe otherwise. I mean, if any of you guys are in the same boat, I'd be the same way, until I have other reason.
So you have no doubt with it?
I didn't say I have no doubt. Can you put words in my mouth?
All right, well, I just want to
I did send them a couple options.
This is the original DD 214, it's a copy of mine.
Okay.
This is a copy of mine, a copy of Dave Robinson's, all veterans that push on the beach. This is what you need. This is like a livelihood for the veterans, whatever they need through veteran service or everything. I have 10 copies of this. Jim Calissa gave me a fine one.
And thank you for your
And
service.
this is it. I don't know whether it's been a month now. Nobody has any progress on what we're going to do here.
Well, this is an indication that at least he's trying. I sent him a couple links as regarding maybe the VA and whatever, maybe what was the organization you mentioned? Just the Veterans Administration.
Oh, it's the National Archives website.
Okay, the archives. Yeah, I actually sent a link.
That's what she said. Tell me what it was.
I sent him a link to that as well, and he did at least. And I sent him this one for DD 214 Direct, which I saw that some veterans used. And they have a B rating by the Veteran Business Bureau, so they're legit. And it says to receive for $129 that he's filed for a copy. My list is on here. It's very brief. Received from DD214direct.com by Veterans Home Access LLC. Receipt number blah blah blah. $129 paid on June 19th, 2025. For discharge document 488094 James Calista.
All right, I'm just wondering why I didn't do that 2 months ago when we started all this.
Well, his mother was very, his mom was ill, I know that much. And
We did
discuss that. And he was her caretaker, he was a primary caretaker, so he was over 100 years old, so.
Jimmy, I'd like to just add, because you said that there's been no progress. The city is not going out on a witch hunt trying to find out whether it's them. As a veteran myself, who has multiple copies of my own DD 214, he has turned in the same exact document that you have turned in. His is older than yours, because it's very old. The municipality's position is, until it was proven differently, he is going to be treated as a veteran because he submitted the documentation that's required of him to get a mercantile license to sell these criminal truck. We are not spending time and energy going around and searching through the archives and doing all that to prove it. If that's something you want to do, that's fine. For what we have, he's being treated as a veteran. If it's proven differently, we will act on that. But at this time, that he's being treated as a veteran.
Okay, I'm just wondering why he doesn't have a DD 214.
That has nothing to do with us.
I know, but it could be a thing that you guys all want to do. That's why I brought up the National Archives, so you can get it from the facts. So I was just afraid to tell Dennis, because he thought someone knows, said, well, you just call them up, tell them to fill it out on this website, and then get it back to us.
Well, in my conversation to him, I did say as much, and 100% with what Tiger just said. I mean, until we know otherwise, we're not on a witch hunt or anything. And I said, you know, it's kind of, I'll just say innuendo, put it mildly. I mean, some of the things that are coming on. So I'm like, hey, if that was any of us, I think, in this room, pretty much, maybe every single one of us would act and do something to prove our honor, so to speak. So.
Okay, on the application that we have to fill out as veterans, okay, it says, are you a veteran? Now that's for background check for all kinds of stuff. There's no background check for a veteran on there, because we're all getting our licenses, we're a veteran.
The background check is to provide proof, which you provided a county card. The current policy, and I'll specify the current policy, is that is sufficient. Whether that changes in the future, that'll be up to the council to make that decision. But the current procedure for him to get his license, he filed the proper documents and was given the license. If that policy or that procedure changes in the future, then that will be addressed at that time.
Okay, so
Right now, he's got what he needs to be in his truck.
So only the veterans have to fill out an application for a background check that serves anything on this beach. So it's just the veterans and nobody else has to fill out the application we fill by fingerprints, Megan's law, and background check. Is that correct?
Well, right now, you guys are the only ones selling on the beach.
Chris is selling on the beach. Did he fill out an application?
Yeah, he filled out a mercantile application. However, the ordinance that you're speaking of is being voted on tonight that dramatically changes the ice cream truck operations. If council approves that, 20 days after it's advertised, it takes effect. But right now, he's following all the rules.
Okay.
That's why we're here, we're voting on an ordinance.
All right, now you said you followed all the rules. All right. First of all, he was on 14th Street on the bulkhead. In the ordinance, it says he has to be 150 feet away, so that's up near the street. And he's ringing a horn thing on the thing. All seen him, heard the music, correct? The horn? It was like a horn thing. Yeah, which he's not allowed. Okay, he's only supposed to ring the bell 3 times. He was also spotted on 16th Street, up the balcony, on the disabled parking lot, and he was sitting there. Okay, he was also spotted there. So I mean, he's going to follow the rules.
Those things you just described are being addressed.
Okay.
They were being addressed today by my code enforcement officer.
All right, so Vince, you weren't here last meeting, but we had a meeting in the conference room, and me, Mike, Jeff, and Leo, the veterans were in there. And we stated that we were agreeable with 8th Street all the way to the seawall, and we were allowed to ring the bell 3 times. So when we came to
First of all, some you might remember I was here last year a couple of times talking about this. I'm from Margate Stream Team, Steve Giuseppe, who's over here, he's the chair of our meeting, and we started this ordinance in Margate, actually in October 2 years ago, 2023. Right now, you will be joining 13 other municipalities that have this as an ordinance, and 3 other municipalities that have it as a resolution. And I do see that you made a resolution. I am curious why you didn't go with the ordinance route. So, am I allowed to ask questions? Can you answer? Okay.
After speaking with Brigantine and code enforcement and construction officials, it was decided to start this as a resolution. We needed to start a plan for estimate of education period. So it's just kind of the start of putting the ordinance in place right now. I just don't think the city is ready for it. So we want to educate people, bring them up to the importance of why this needs to be done, and then have the attention to move forward with the ordinance.
It's good logic, because that's exactly what Margate did, actually. We started out as a resolution, and we found, once there was awareness, that's really what it takes, is the awareness. House military, once I brought up to him, he started telling me we would see all the sites all over. So yeah, education is definitely very important. I wanted to talk to you about some of that. Which was my next point. I said awareness is the most important part of it. So, once we started this, we have a coalition of multiple organizations now spreading this work. We have Clean Ocean Action, we have Sustainable Jersey, we have Beyond Plastics, we have Surfrider Foundation, and we have Save Water Bay, which is responsible for watershed. We get on conference calls a couple of times a month and just talk about spreading the word. So with the awareness, we put together a website with a lot of resources, and we put together these trifold flyers, which I can give them to you. Can I come up there and hand them to you? So,
Yeah, we actually, our green team, as well as some of the information that you give us.
oh, okay, great. Well, what I wanted to say is there's a link to a website, and on this website are all kinds of resources. Like we put together a flyer in English and Spanish that you can hand out. We also have an educational video that's 9 minutes long. I mean, it doesn't sound long, so people complain, oh my god, I gotta watch a video for 9 minutes, but it's really, really educational. So I wanted to just ask you about, so awareness is important, check the website often, we have other resources, and then how are you proposing to enforce it? Like, who's gonna enforce it? Is there a phone number? Like, what do you determine with the meetings?
I think right now it's going to be best practices from the construction office. They have information literature that we give every permit that goes out. And then really it's all under the code enforcement.
Yeah, that's pretty much how we do it, except for our off hours, like the police department does get involved, so I would just say anybody who's doing enforcement should watch that 9-minute video so that they can speak on it, and that they also have the English and Spanish flyers. And one of the things Marty does is whenever someone gets a permit for a job, they send out an email with a link to the website and resources. And so that the GC knows that they're responsible to spread the word. So, and just a quick thing on enforcement, we surveyed our builders, Marty, building department surveyed our builders. And we were very pleased to see most builders said, this is not a big deal. And of course it was, you know, you have your two groups, right? You have your builders, and you have the ones that aren't as good, but you post to them. We're like, this is not a big deal, and just in general, the equipment it takes to contain the stuff is a hood over your saw, or wet saw if you're sawing papers, a tarp, and a vacuum attachment. And the materials cost less than $500 when we use the job stuff. I think once contractors like to start doing this, it just becomes second nature. So, and I just have one other comment, it's real quick. The title of your resolution is, it ends with work sites for contractors and residents with microplastic particles, but the actual order resolution we have and the intent is to cover all kinds of construction and contamination. So maybe you think it about, I don't know, possibly adjust the title about responsible construction dust containment. This is a suggestion.
Steve Giuseppe, following up from Margate and following up with the sheriff's comments here. I'm the one who actually started seeing this when riding back down. I saw a lot of construction work going on, and I stopped this one set of contractors working because they're cutting AZAC. And as you know, AZAC is pure plastic, and as it cuts down, it creates these microplastics. This is an idea of what they're cutting through. So I have 35 years of construction experience on the electrician department. I asked the contractors, I said, look, you guys are just cutting this stuff and it's coming off the grass. There are saws and vacuums, and responsible contractors use them.
These people were not, and others are not, and there's a lot of construction going on our island, just as much as you have a lot of construction going on. It's hard to, manage it, but it is something that needs to be done. I'm particularly concerned about physical microplastics, and nanoplastics come from that. We've been fighting plastics for a long time. We are now in plastics in society. We have plastics in us. We have it in our lungs, we have it in our kidneys, and it's in breast milk, it's in babies, it's everywhere. We just cannot get away from this. This is the way of containment. All we are asking is for the contractor to take responsibility and to make sure that this stuff is not going into the ground. As I watched the particles come out of the salt, and I watch them go into the soil, and I watch them go into the curb, and then I watch them get washed down to the drains, and then into the bay. I go kayak now to the bay, and I notice all these particles still in the bay, and I was wondering, this is going back about 6 years ago, what this stuff is. And then I realized when I saw the construction sites. So I think it was a very, very responsible thing that we as a society needs to do. It's not just city ordinances, but I believe that it should be not only state ordinance, but it really should be worldwide ordinance, because it's something that is preventable. Well, it's going to get into the ground, but this is something that we can do and raise awareness about what these construction workers are working on. My concern years ago was asbestos, working with lead and working with other harmful chemicals, and the data sheets come with the products. But we did a lot of research on this, and we tried to see what tracks, what AZAC, what some of these other products, and there's absolutely no education on this. So I think this is a really good thing that we are going through the educational phase. We started that, so it's already going on. It's already going through the contractors that they're becoming aware of this. Sherry and I had just met with an assemblywoman for Lisa Bill to see about getting this as a state. As you know, getting a state ordinance passed is a very lengthy process. And in politics, I can't say the left right now, but this is something that we should all be behind. Because it's your children. And as Sherry mentioned, it's not just about plastics, it's about fiberglass. You walk down the street and you get this fiberglass being grinding for a building, and it's going into your lungs. It's going into your flowers. It's going, if you have a garden and you're eating out of it, can you imagine eating fiberglass with your tomatoes? But that's what's happening. And this is what we need to do. So, with every city, we have been going to every city to try to get as many cities to show the state that, yeah, this is a doable thing, and this is important. And hopefully, we're getting more movement on that, but with your help, I passing the resolution, hopefully, more than soon, we'll get somewhere with this. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Here, just make a statement. You were questioning about the title just mentioned plastics, but in free plastic contaminant control appliances, cutting, drilling, and sanding thus produce materials, including but not limited to plastic, silver, fiberglass, papers, or wood treated with chemical contaminants. So
No,
that does include all of that.
No, I said it did say throughout the ordinance, and yes, the detail of it is perfect. It's just suggestion.
Whether it's a public comment. I will close the public portion. First up, we have ordinance number 16 of 2025. This is a public hearing and adoption. This is to amend chapter 61 salaries and compensation, code of the city of Brigantine. We have a motion second. So moved. Second. At this time, we'll open up the public hearing, and if you wish to refer to this ordinance, please come up, state your name and address for the record. Seeing no public participation, we close the public portion. We council comments? Seeing none, may I have roll call?
You, yes, Lettieri?
Yes.
Hany?
Yes.
D'Amelio?
Yes.
Mayor Sarah?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Ordinance number 17 of 2025, this is a public hearing for the adoption of supplement chapter 210 of the Code of the City of Brigantine entitled Mercantile Businesses to further define ice cream and food truck operations. The motion second. Second. At this time, anybody wishing to be heard on this ordinance, please come up, state your name and address to the record. Seeing no public participation, we'll close the public portion. Any council comments?
Yes, Mayor, I just wanted to, Mr. Grasso, brought up, the ordinance regarding 14th Street. So I know, unfortunately, Neil's not here, Councilman Kane's not here this evening, but I believe he did call you. We also introduced, when we introduced the ordinance last week, if you were to look on, the ordinance 17 itself, as proposed on, subtitle B, number 4 on page 2, it just says, in addition, it refers to public beach street and where it can be sold, etc. And then it states, in addition, top of the page, in addition, veteran operated ice cream trucks are authorized to operate at the 14th Street South Street beach end. So I just want to bring that to your attention. You were kind of wondering about 14th Street, Jim? Yeah. It is in the ordinance. And it was in the introduction as well.
That's what we didn't discuss that.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, Neil was here, and we ran by. Yeah, I don't want, unfortunately, I don't want to get it back and forth on, on the day it's here. But we'll just say that, online, if you're able to access it, at the introduction, you can see that, it's there, it's stated, that's all I'm saying. Thank you, and thank you for your service, truly.
Mayor, I have a question. You mentioned today that it seems like that bell ringing or horn blowing is an issue. In reading this, it clearly states that that's not allowed, and then it goes into section 8, which is mercantile license shall be in violation. So is that the end result of continued neglect for that ruling of not blowing the horn, or is it a fine list that is penalty?
So usually the first situation would be a violation, then a ticket, and then we could go after the license at that point. The violations.
All right, there's no other council comments, do we have roll call?
You, yes, Lettieri?
Yes.
Hany?
Yes.
D'Amelio?
Yes.
Mayor Sarah?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Ordinance number 18 of 2025, this is a public hearing for adoption. This is amending chapter 210-37, article 2 of the Code of the City of Brigantine as it relates to fees. Do I have a motion second?
Second.
All right, this time we'll open up the public hearing. Anybody wishing to be heard on this ordinance, please come up, state your name and address for the record. Seeing no public participation, we'll close the public portion. Any council comments? Seeing none, do we have roll call?
You, yes, Lettieri?
Yes.
Hany?
Yes.
D'Amelio?
Yes.
Mayor Sarah?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Ordinance number 19 of 2025, this is an introduction. This is an ordinance amending chapter 284 of the Code of the City of Brigantine as it relates to vehicles and traffic. Have a motion second.
So, second.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
You, yes, Lettieri?
Yes.
Hany?
Yes.
D'Amelio?
Yes.
Mayor Sarah?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Ordinance number 20 of 2025, this is an introduction. This is an ordinance amending chapter 190 of the Code of the City of Brigantine as it pertains to certain fees for miniature golf. Motion second. Questions or comments? Seeing none, we have roll call.
You, yes, Lettieri?
Yes.
Hany?
Yes.
D'Amelio? Mayor Sarah?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution 2025-152, authorizing the liquor license renewal for Liquor Warehouse Corp. Inc. Have a motion second.
So, second.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
You, yes, Lettieri?
Yes.
Hany?
Yes.
D'Amelio? Mayor Sarah?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution 2025-153, this is a resolution endorsing the fourth round housing element and fair share plan. Motion second.
Second.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
You, yes, Fury.
Yes.
Me.
Yes.
Cordelia.
Yes.
Mayor Sarah.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution 2025-154, this is authorizing the tax collector to issue refunds as listed on Schedule A. Motion second.
So. Second.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
You, yes, Fury.
Yes.
Me.
Yes.
Cordelia.
Yes.
Mayor Sarah.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution 2025-155, this is a resolution for City of Brigantine promoting clean and safe work sites for contractors and residents with microparticles. A motion second.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, can I have roll call?
You, yes, Fury.
Yes.
Me.
Yes.
Cordelia.
Yes.
Mayor Sarah.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution 2025-156, this is a resolution authorizing a refund for overpayment of rental registration fees. A motion second.
Second.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
You, yes, Fury.
Yes.
Me.
Yes.
Cordelia.
Yes.
Mayor Sarah.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution 2025-157, this is a resolution of the City of Brigantine, New Jersey, authorizing the contract with Civil Solutions Inc. for tax map maintenance. This is the amount of $111,600. A motion second. Questions or comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
You, yes, Fury.
Yes.
Me.
Yes.
Cordelia.
Yes.
Mayor Sarah.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution 2025-158, this is a resolution of the City of Brigantine, New Jersey, authorizing a contract with all vinyl fencing for netting at the Little League Field. This is the amount of $9,000. Got a motion second.
Second.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
You, yes, Fury.
Yes.
Me.
Yes.
Cordelia.
Yes.
Mayor Sarah.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution 2025-159, this is a resolution authorizing a contract with Northeastern Electrical GC Services LLC to secure and expose wire at the dock plants. And this is an amount of $8,664.68. With the motion second.
Second.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
You, yes, Fury.
Yes.
Me.
Yes.
Cordelia.
Yes.
Mayor Sarah.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution 2025-160, this is a resolution of the City of Brigantine, County of Atlantic, State of New Jersey, approving the corrective plan submitted by the Chief Financial Officer for year ending December 31st, 2024. Motion second.
I'll make that motion.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
You, yes, Fury.
Yes.
Me.
Yes.
Cordelia.
Yes.
Mayor Sarah.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution 2025-161, this is a resolution of the City of Brigantine, County of Atlantic, State of New Jersey, certifying receipt of the 2024 City of Brigantine municipal audit. There's motion second.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
You, yes, Fury.
Yes.
Me.
Yes.
Cordelia.
Yes.
Mayor Sarah.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution 2025-162, this is a resolution of the City of Brigantine, New Jersey, authorizing a contract with Ford Main LP for a K-81 hydrant. This is the amount of $8,766. Motion second.
Second.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, we have roll call.
You, yes, Fury.
Yes.
Me.
Yes.
Cordelia.
Yes.
Mayor Sarah.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution 2025-163, this is a resolution authorizing the execution of an employment agreement with the chief of the Brigantine Police Patrol. Motion second.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
You, yes, Fury.
Yes.
Me.
Yes.
Cordelia.
Yes.
Mayor Sarah.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Resolution 2025-164, this is a resolution of the City of Brigantine, New Jersey, authorizing the award of contract with William Lee's Architecture for the Conoco Kent demolition. This is at 4012 Brigantine Boulevard, Brigantine, New Jersey. This is the amount of not to exceed $25,000. The motion second.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
You? Yes. Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Amy.
Yes.
Basilio.
Yes.
Mayor Sarah.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Up next, we have a consent agenda. We have the South Jersey Cancer Fund raffle license number 1110, Brian Wood Scholarship Walk, raffle block party, Betty Group Memorial Raffle number 1111. We have a motion second.
Second.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, we have roll call.
You? Yes. Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Amy.
Yes.
Basilio.
Yes.
Mayor Sarah.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next, we have our council manager meeting discussions.
Mayor, I'll make this real quick. Hopefully in Friday's paper, we did send a press release for our reporting concern module that we have through our gov pilot. It is accessible through our website, brigantine.org. There's a link right on the front page. You click on reporting concern, fill out the information, and it gets sent to the appropriate department to address the concern. Another thing that will come out of this is it's called Gov Alert. It's through the Gov Pilot platform. It's called Gov Alert. I downloaded it. We had a call yesterday with the company. I downloaded the app, and it's location based. So those of the Brigantine, I can literally go on that app and start typing in the address of the concern. You fill out the form. You are required to put your email address in there. So there's no anonymous. And it literally brings up a whole list of concerns. You can take a picture. If it's a high grass complaint, you can literally with your phone take a picture of the high grass complaint, fill out the form, and it gets sent automatically. We trialed it and it works out great. This is one of the new things that we're launching with this new program. And in the upcoming months, we will be announcing more launches, more things that the capabilities will be for this program, where people can, from the comfort of their home, be able to file for marriage license, install a cat license, all kinds of stuff that we're doing for this program, where you can do right from your home. So just wanted to make that announcement. Should be a news article, a press release coming out in finance.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I know that you and a lot of people see a lot of work that I really trying to streamline our city processes. Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to mention Jack Murray, our fire official. He's been working very hard on this report of concern through with the company, because as code enforcement is located in Mercantile now, it's located in his office. He's been dialed in with this and it's been really crushing. So.
Yes, Mayor. I just want to thank everybody that came out for our Clean Communities event on Saturday. We had a nice turnout, and I appreciate everybody showing up. Thank you. Thank you.
John, give us an update on carpets are going down.
I'm not giving a target date because the carpet installation will start on Tuesday of this coming week. All the material was delivered yesterday and today. It's weather dependent. It's supposed to rain now. So if it's wet, we can't put it down. But I was pushing for middle of July. We're moving along. Right. The ponds are up and running. They're blue. We just need the carpet down. So we're getting there. Thank you.
And I'm just going to tell everybody to see it.
Anything on the budget? I got a call today about clean up there, or kind of repair.
I will go and inspect them again, but I have not seen any need for any repairs. We do clean them weekly. People have any concerns or anything, they can call Public Works right away and we'll go right down there. But I have not heard anything from Bocce. Thank you.
Not to beat that horse, but I was in contact with whose office, and Joshua Lane was the director of technical services there. Sent an email to just found out 5 minutes before the set meeting. Form to fill out, request.
Thank you, Mayor. June 14th was Flag Day, celebrated and honored at our Elks. Real strong showing from our city council. Our mayor spoke quite eloquently. June 14th, 1777 marked the establishment of our country's first official flag with the 13 stars and 13 red and white stripes. But it's very interesting just seeing the progression of all the flags, the Common Army and everything else. It's a pretty cool, it's a beautiful event. It's really cool. It's great for people of all ages. It's something that we make sure that children to attend as much as to appreciate the history of our country. Brigantine Recreation Board meeting was this past Wednesday. John, thanks for the update. It was discussed a little bit as to what you said. Just give a little update as it was. Some of the stuff arrived today, right? So they were trying to get July 4th, but unfortunately, we can't do it. But hopefully they get that up and done pretty soon. A lot of good stuff going on. As far as the Recreation Board goes, you just Google it up. They have their own separate page. If anybody's interested in summer programs or things for the kids, there's 53 classes in total for this summer. 27 are full already. But give a call or go online if you have any questions. Plenty of things right there. And I don't expect anybody to see this real well, but they will be having their own logo. It's pretty cool. It's just the sunrise, a circular logo with the sun rising and the ocean below with the scallop and Brigantine Beach right across with the community CDR. So it'll look good when they get it done. It'll be nice. Let's see. July 12th will be Johnny Bewley Day. A really good young man, near and dear to my heart, and all of us in hockey league. Rams football, Holy Spirit, oh my goodness, I mean, the list goes on and on. He played in the men's league, we all played together, had a great time. Just a great human being, guy with a heart of gold, always easygoing, fun to talk to. He loved hockey and football. He was a heck of a player too. Johnny he could move that ball up the court. He always had his eyes open for a pass. Very unselfish individual, and he had a tough battle against cancer. But unfortunately, took him quite quickly. But July 12th, we will be honoring him at down at the Brigantine Hockey League on the little access parking lot there between the Rams field and Brigantine Hockey Courts. And so, if you got some time, there'll be a food truck there. I'm going to spend some time on that. I'm a great young guy who passed away at 37. Please feel free. So let's go. Let's see what we got here. All right. Well, that's about it. I guess we got our 4th of July coming up. I'll just close on that. And 249 years from as far as this year celebration goes. So next year it'll be a big one. 250 years for celebrating our country's in the birth of our country. I'm getting older quicker than I realized. I remember when they had the bicentennial when I was a little kid growing up in Philly. It was actually the birthplace of our nation. That was the focal point of the country back in 1976. So everybody had a great upcoming holiday. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving Day as well. Thank you.
I have nothing to about my time.
I was going to say the same thing. So, thank you, John. I saw it online that we got some fireworks on the 3rd of July. You know, that was confirmed with very good nominations.
That is confirmed. We do have a meeting with OEM and department heads on Monday. It's at 10 o'clock in the morning. So they can, OEM is working on the IAP, this action plan. So we will have a plan in place for not only that evening, but we're also going to discuss the holiday weekend as well. So we are aware of this.
They forgot that.
Yeah.
It's not going to pay back together.
We get advantage that.
Couple quick updates, put it on the social media earlier today, but the air conditioning unit, at the community center that is above the main gym, has failed. We had a contractor yesterday, repaired it, and good to go. This morning it was working again, we're back on there again today, trying to fix it, when we get it up and rolling. There was 11 units that service the community center. That unit needs to be replaced, I'll tell you how the other ones need to be replaced as well. We have ordered the unit, it will take 6 to 8 weeks to come in. If we can't get that up and rolling, the things that asked city manager, director of public works, to get some kind of temporary air conditioning there. And there are machines out there that we use for schools, when our school systems go down, so if there's something out there, we just need to have air conditioning in that gym. I know those exercise classes, we open the doors, it still is loud. So just to keep people updated, we are working on where, we'll put more information on social media as we move forward. Time restricted requirements too, but a lot of people have seen the development beginning at one point that is coming on the island, first property to the right. Approvals for that were given back in 2009. Sat dormant for decades. All of a sudden, we heard that was moving back forward, so we actually had our attorney reach out to the developer's attorney and request that they go back before the planning board for approvals. We wanted to make sure that when they built construction, that they weren't building to the 2009 regulations. A lot of things have changed with both the state and the city. Developers agreed to that and they came back in. There's a number of people who reached out and said that the city should not let those people develop that land. Our attorneys reviewed it. There is no legal reason to not allow them to develop it. They're building conforming lots. They're not asking for any variances. It's developable land. So legally, there is no reason to stop them. So the best thing we can do is make sure that they got all their current approvals. We also made sure that they went back to the state, that CAFRA and DEP approvals, they received all of their state approvals. So that's why you see the construction that's moving forward. And to let people know across the street from that, at the base of the bridge, that is moving forward as well too. That little piece of land there is actually not for the city, it is Atlantic City. Atlantic City gave them approval to build. Brigantine, the only responsibilities we will have towards that is water and sewer. Atlantic City is handling everything else, police, fire, schools, everything else. That land is Atlantic City, not Brigantine. I know we put governments there and tried to buy it from Atlantic City, because we knew at some point in time that we developed, Atlantic City had no interest in selling that land to us. So it is there. Now, obviously, if there's a major emergency, police and fire would respond, not putting people at risk. But it's very clear in Atlantic City's resolution that it is not our property, it is theirs, and they're responsible for everything except water and sewer. They will be customers of our utilities. They anticipate having their state approvals within the next couple of months. Once they have their state approvals, you'll see construction start moving forward out there as well. So we'll keep people posted on that. Conversation, we saw the resolution tonight, on demolition. We've worked for years now with the owners of that conversation to try to get them to clean that property up and maintain it. It is very clear to the city that the owners have no intention of maintaining that property. We do not live in the state of New Jersey. The company is registered in Las Vegas. Most of the owners of that company live in Las Vegas in California. We took them to court. The canopy over the pumps is a safety issue. The conversation sign fell down one day. We went out and inspected. We found that the canopy itself of the pumps is leaking as well. We put a fence around it. We went to court. The judge gave the city the ability to go in and demo the canopy and to close up the pumps. So we put the resolution on that tonight. They had to do some engineering work because we have to take the canopy down, but also the building structurally sound so the Dunkin' Donuts can continue to operate. We'll put a lien against the property for any costs that have occurred, so the city taxpayers are out there, that property, we get that money on the back end of the liens. There is an additional who's been buying up the liens on the property to date any expenses we put out there have come back to the city's own maintenance or anything we had to do in a whole. So we'll keep people posted on that. We want to let people know that it's an absolute shame that we want to do it that way. It's an absolute high scores we come to Seattle. So we're gonna start taking action to try to clean it up. A couple of people have asked why the city doesn't just foreclose and take the property. The New Jersey DEP said under no circumstance should the city take possession of the property because the taxpayers of Brigantine will be required to pay for the remediation. We're not sure if there's issues with the tanks that are there. There are some issues that the DEP found with the property, and they have given the owner, I don't remember the exact, they've given the owner, I think, like 5 or 8 years to remediate. We know that the owner's just gonna sit on and so we're gonna take the action we can take to try to clean that property up, keep it safe without taking on the burden of the property. So we'll keep everybody posted on that. Next big project we're looking at is at the community center, the outdoor recreational facility. There are a couple of people talk about that tonight, especially bocce ball. But we're looking at a redesign and rehab of almost everything out there. Pickleball courts, the tennis courts, the bocce ball courts, the hockey courts, the mini golf. We're doing some repairs down there, mini golf, and bowling. But we've done a number of repairs over the years to keep that area safe and playable. But it's getting to the point with all of those recreation facilities out there. It's just, it needs to be done. So we're going to be starting to work on that. The first step of that is to work with recreational engineer or planner to start to come up with what that is going to look like and how we need to let everything out and do the design. So we'll be looking into that. The other big thing is putting together the funding for that. We want to make sure that we have the funding to cover that. We may, based on the recommendations of the engineer, the recreational engineer or planner, do it in phases. So this way we can make it affordable, but we don't know what that's going to look like until we get that started. So we're beginning that process now. We will share information with that. I know one of the big concerns with some of the homeowners behind it is pickleball courts and sound. One of the recommendations that council will be making is that we put some type of sound buffer in between that recreation area and the homeowners behind it to try to dampen that sound. So we're in the very early stages of that, and we want to make sure that we can let people know that we are moving forward on it, and a lot of that area just, it's time to do it. This time we'll open up the public comment, and the person to be heard on any issue, please come up, state your name and address for the record.
Good evening, my name is Bill Crosby, my address is 506 Hackney Place. Here we have a couple of our neighbors, and I reached out to Mr. Lenieri, Mr. Reardon. I spoke to Ryan Hurst in the office, Jack Murray from the fire department. I talked to those officials. I talked to my city, Atlantic County Health Department. There is an in-ground pool being built at 440 Hackney Street, and it's been going on since the week after Labor Day. And there's a constant pumping of water that I sent you the picture. It's stagnant, nasty, dirty water. And, you know, I certainly understand construction, I understand noise, I understand dust, I understand. But there's no end in sight, and the pool pops before it's completed. So they've been jackhammering, and yesterday there was 5 truckloads of money. Went in, I don't know if they reported the pool or not. But again, there's no work on it today. The contractor in New Jersey for your landscaping and pool, I spoke to that owner. He's pretty much saying, what do you want me to do? Code enforcement tells me I have to pump. When the code enforcement and the code enforcement officer, and I want to be very clear, Ryan Hurst, Jack Murray, the whole code enforcement team that I talked to very much, your public works department, they've come out and requested clean streets. Couldn't be nicer people. But at the end of the day, nicer doesn't get problem solved. So I talked to the code enforcement, he said basically they can, this is his words, they can do it forever as long as every 6 months they get job site inspected. So I said, well, what if they fail the inspection? Well, then we'll do another inspection. And I understand that construction and the development of the island and everything, laws are probably won't catch up fast. I get it, I truly do. But we can't enjoy it outside of our house because of mosquitoes and everything else. And I asked the question both to the code enforcement officer and to the Atlantic County Health Department. If I left a tire on the side of my house that was gathering water, and you had mosquitoes, would you cite them? Absolutely. Yet, if you saw the pictures, it's months. The city had to send out a salt truck in the middle of the winter. The only time, because it was covered with ice. And it's not a problem. Now, originally just pumping, they were, at one point, I don't know why, but they had a hose and ran the near shore to the backside right into the drain. That stopped. Then they were pumping water out into the street. Miraculously, a silt catch at the end of the pipe showed up. That went away. Now there's a bag that I'm assuming that's silt debris for going into the sewer system. That was expanded for about 6 hours. Workers working on it, it's deflated pump with a ball, and the water just goes around the side of it. But it's a health hazard. Nobody's holding the contractor accountable. The owner, God knows why you want to put a 6-foot in-ground pool when the water line is 18 inches below, but that's something for me to discuss or debate. Also, we're asking for some help in resolving the situation. And again, everybody has been nice. But at what point do we hold the contractor either finish it and get it done so people can, or pull his license that he can't put another pool in? Because it's ridiculous. If they were working around the clock and it was 3 months, I truly get that. I do get the construction, I get the convenience. But 9 months with no end in sight. If you drive by his house, there's a pile of rewired concrete in the back. No, I don't understand, and I've sent emails, and again, everybody's been nice, but I haven't got an issue to the resolution. Jack, I'm a very nice gentleman from Park very nice. He called, said he was gonna follow up. That's when the silt bag showed up, so I assumed but I'm sure he's limited from a fire perspective. So I was wondering if certain you was there, if you can help me.
Well, I saw your email yesterday.
Well, that's the second email.
I know, but I didn't realize that I was actually for the council because they refused this because I thought it was part of Karen's thing and kept referring it to other people. I actually went out yesterday after I read the email and I took pictures and showed them that. Okay, I saw your picture, but I went out to see it for myself. I actually went to the backyard and took pictures of them. Hosing the pool off, they had a sprinkler out there running on top of the water that was pumping from, which was groundwater. They were wetting the pool down, the concrete of the pool. It wasn't disgusting. There was a green mold or something that runs down the street in front of his house, in front of the house next door. I spoke to John, he called me last night at 6:30 and said, listen, everything on it, finally, and you know, it just goes on and on and on. There's nothing much more that they can do.
Well, you can pull a list, you can pull a permit. You have the ability to do that. You can pull a permit.
That's correct, sir. How do we address this? I know I just heard about this for the first time right now, so I'm glad you came in. How does he address this? I'm also learning about this for the first time. I had to do a looking at whether you can. But this 9 months seems ridiculous amount of time, and I do agree that I think it's a health and safety issue to have good pictures of all the show. It's stagnant water and pollution.
And Public Works was down this morning at 7:30 and did it twice. And if you go there right now, it's green mold. And I've fallen twice walking out my driveway because it's nothing but algae.
Pavement in front of their property. Property in question. It's got a little slides.
This can't go on forever.
I can, look, I see back in the day, I go out there with a ton of leaks, or leaks in there, and I always get it myself. You know, like, let's face it, back in the day, I'm trying to respect the process. But my grandkids can't even come down and sit on the front lawn.
So when does it become, from a legal point of view, look, I was in corporate construction. I know dealing with this township through a construction process, the meticulous nature of you can't do this and you can't do this and you can't do this. From how high a rental can go. So I'm well aware of the resources at your disposal to influence the situation, and I'm asking for help.
Your time is expired.
That's okay.
Same time, the private investment, can you, I guess, check in with, code enforcement systems going on, George, to see if we can help you improve, because this can't go on forever, you can't just keep perpetually pumping water, before those. Yeah, Paul,
Thank you.
and Paul, you have Bill's contact information?
I do.
All right, perfect, so this is what you want to say, thank you so much.
Send it to everybody afterwards, because you gotta go on with last meeting, Don and I went back and forth, and he says in some cases, not necessarily here on the island, but they have construction like this, is forced to contain the water on the property.
Pump trucks.
To have a reservoir where the water is pumped in the reservoir, rather than putting on our street, putting in our sewers. I mean, obviously, we're all paying for that. It's not fair.
Yeah, everybody. This is new for me, no thanks. Normally, I wouldn't come here and complain about it. Sir, my raising issue about anything.
Sir, just gotta say.
Oh, Jeffrey, there's no one. My issue is electric lights. I think we see summer after summer, each summer, more and more of these electric lights. And helmets when it comes to lights. I'm a pretty liberal parent. I'm guilty of letting my kids, I have a 12 and 13-year-old, let them ride the bike without them. But these electric bikes is a whole other level when it comes to bikes. And I don't know, I know tons of parents who want their kids these bikes. It's only a matter of time before I buy my kid one, maybe both of them. And I've never heard of anybody getting a ticket for not wearing a helmet. My son's friends ride around with their helmet, sometimes with their hand, fine. These bikes go 30 miles an hour. There's conversion kits that make you go faster. The average bicycle with a kid, they're going 5 to 15 miles an hour. And I don't think there's any statistics that show electric bikes are causing more accidents with them. It's pretty much the same, but the accidents are way more severe to do that. I mean, it's like deaths, brain injury, all kinds of stuff. And it's not just a matter of the bikes now, it's every year there's more and more and more traffic. So it's, when you're riding a bicycle, it's much easier to stop when you're on a bicycle, even going full speed, than it is going 20 miles an hour on an e-bike. And it's just more and more and more I see these kids flying around, 2 on a speed at a time, no helmet, text. I just, like I said, I normally wouldn't, I'm pretty little here, I let my kids live and learn and stuff like that, but these are one thing I'm not gonna do. And I think we should have some sort of city initiative or something to enforce helmet laws. I don't think, I guess, as far as I know, New Jersey has some laws for everyone under 17, I guess that's great to follow. Obviously, it's not probably not reasonable that you could enforce every kid on a bicycle wearing a helmet. That's not, but we could just start with electric bikes and focus on them, because like I said, some sort of initiative, send out pamphlets to houses or something, make sure your kids wear, put some fear in the parents that they're going to get a ticket if their kid is caught on an e-bike. Because like I said, it's not just, it's the safety of people too. People walking across the street, some, older people won't have time sometimes to stop and the kid whizzing by at 30 miles an hour. Like I said, it's only a matter of time. Right? Some of us have younger kids, they're all going to have it, they don't already have it. And so next summer, you're going to see twice the amount of these bikes here, summer after that, and then there's going to be no bicycles left. Every kid's they're going to start making little ones for 5-year-olds. They're going to go 20 miles an hour. So I just think that if
just started enforcing, you know, it sounds pretty stupid, but I'm saying don't enforce the bicycle helmet law, but enforce the, but I think you guys understand what I'm talking about, these things, you know. I think you saw in Delaware County, there was the two girls that got, I don't know if the one girl died, I don't know if the other was still. This is gonna happen. And I know all these kids, I coach here, I have teenagers, I know all these kids, and it's a matter of time before one of them, you know, something really bad happens. And or summer people, after the
Mayor, unfortunately, Chief Casimiro was in here, maybe in contact with him, email, whatever. I did a career in law enforcement. I had two very bad bike accidents, figuring that out, both in like, on Collins Lake side, one was on the Boston side, the other was on the Collins Lake side, the Vision side. And, yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. One child had taken a Cooper and
It's the weight of the bike too, the bike falling on you alone.
I'm sure. Yeah, and they mentioned e-bikes, you know, as we were talking about what's going on, probably, maybe a year ago or so, this summer, I guess, beginning of summer. This kid or whatever comes, we're getting ready to, make a right onto Brigantine, onto the avenue, and this kid's coming in the wrong direction, and his e-bike, he just like, shoots up, just goes around, just like cursing and yelling stuff.
Yeah,
He's going against traffic, he's like,
yeah, the kids get on, they're fun, they're obviously fun, they get on and they feel, you know, the same way I would have felt when I was fun.
so we do have the bike patrol too that started, maybe in conjunction, obviously, you have to be an Olympic bike rider to keep up with one of them, but, between that and just being able to radio our cars, maybe they could, you know, if they notice something like that, around about, they put in conjunction with the market patrol units.
Yeah, I think you start writing tickets, it's only a matter of time, if I know now, like, I'm not worried about my kids going out that home, when I see their friends riding down London, I know nothing's gonna happen. And like I said, I'm not normally the person to come, oh, give me a ticket everybody, I'm not a regulation kind of person. But when it comes to these things, it's mostly teenagers that are riding.
Yeah, it's a real,
You know what I mean? Not that I don't care about the 20-year-olds, 30-year-olds, but it's the teenagers who want to go crazy on them, they're all trying to make it faster. You know, and I think a few tickets would send a message. You know, I think that it's good.
I will have a conversation with the police chief, because at a county graduation, so it's gonna take a time. But I will have a conversation with Chief Casimiro to bring this discussion up. This is something that's been talked about before. They know, they're all over, every mayor, every last year. It was,
This time last year, I guess.
so we will bring up
And
again.
it's actually a front page article in the Times on Friday, saying that the police were going to clamp down on riding down.
We discuss it
riding
all the time.
riding illegally in the wrong direction on the bike path.
Yeah, and I don't want to differentiate between e-bikes and bikes, it's a separate law. That's, you know, or just more enforceable law, higher rate law, providing a little.
It's uniform for all bikes.
I wanted to, if you could categorize e-bikes, e-scooters, and social vehicles. What's the? Alright, so high speed vehicles.
And we're very congested in summertime, like you go from, you know, being able to ride these things freely, to a lot of people in one little space, and these things are laying all over the place. You know, you can't stop them quick enough sometimes, so it's just why it's a good way to.
The trouble is with all of the bikes, whether they're the larger version, or the scooter version, or the scooter version with the seat. Okay, the problem is some of the larger ones, I ride myself, okay? The larger ones can go up to 40 miles an hour. I saw a young man 2 years ago, after I saw the article, and he was riding with a young girl in the back, no helmets, no lights on the bike.
Yeah, but I'd like to, that's something, yeah.
Okay, but there was some talk in that article where they said that there was going to try to get some legislation passed that vehicles that can go 40 miles an hour, or those more heavy duty bikes, should have a LSP license plate and insurance.
They're actually classified in the same classification as mobility. That's how we did this. It's like, you
the elderly mobility, they're considered same as electric.
Time is expired.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for your concern.
Hello, good evening, Mayor Sandy Williams, 900 Pounds Avenue, Brigantine. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm also here tonight as a concerned parent. My concern is that e-bikes being ridden on the island, specifically by minors. We've all seen how fast some of these bikes go. My concern is not just for my children, it's for all children. I'm here to ask that the riders are encouraged to at least wear helmets while riding these e-bikes. I believe there is a helmet law for bike riders. To my knowledge, it was not strictly enforced. My goal in speaking tonight is for the helmet law to be enforced, especially for the bike riders. We can try to make our children wear helmets, but right now it's not normalized. If children are ticketed or reprimanded, it will help normalize helmet wearing and keep children safer while riding. I assure you that this is a concern of the majority of parents, but instead of encouraging groups of families to come here and all share variations of the same story, which would be redundant, I figured that you could take my word for it, that this is a concern of all, and I'm just speaking for them. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Any other public comment? All right, seeing none, we'll close the public portion. Any final council comments? Seeing none, we have a motion to adjourn. All in favor? Aye. The ayes have it. Minutes to July 16th, July 16th is the next week, we have one meeting in July, so we know. So, everybody has a great summer, let's say, cool and see. Thank you for coming out to watch your council team